night draped itself in a shroud of impenetrable darkness, interrupted only by the faint glow of a sickly moon that cast long, twisted shadows. Standing at the edge of a moonlit clearing, I felt a palpable sense of isolation, as though the very earth beneath my feet had abandoned me to this desolate place. The air hung heavy with an unnatural chill, seeping through my clothes and chilling me to the bone. My breath, visible in the frigid night, curled into ghostly wisps that danced aimlessly before disappearing into the abyss. A sense of foreboding, heavy and ominous, settled in the pit of my stomach like an unshakable curse. For weeks, I had been tormented by relentless nightmares, each one a disturbing descent into a realm of horror beyond imagination. These dreams had an eerie consistency, all leading me to this very place, the Dreamscape Forest. It was as though my subconscious mind had been inexorably drawn to its haunting embrace. The forest itself was a nightmarish tableau, a twisted labyrinth of ancient gnarled trees that reached out with skeletal branches, their twisted fingers clawing at the inky sky. Moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting an eerie, ever-shifting mosaic of light and shadow upon the ground. As I ventured deeper into the woods, the trees grew taller and more gnarled, their trunks contorted into grotesque shapes. It was as if they were guardians of some eldritch secret, their silent, ancient sentinels watching my every step. The path ahead, overgrown and choked with gnarled roots, seemed to beckon me onward. My footsteps, the only sound in this nocturnal cathedral, echoed through the stillness. Each crunch of leaves and snap of twigs reverberated through the oppressive silence, amplifying my growing unease. The world had become a surreal dreamscape, and the boundaries between reality and nightmare had blurred beyond recognition. That's when I heard it, a faint, mournful wail that sent shivers down my spine. It was the sound of a woman in distress, her voice carrying an otherworldly quality that sent a chill straight to my core. My heart quickened, and I knew, with a disconcerting certainty, that I had to follow that eerie cry deeper into the heart of this cursed forest. The forest closed in around me, its ancient trees seeming to twist and contort with malevolent intent. Twisted roots snaked across the overgrown path, becoming ever more treacherous underfoot. As I stumbled along, the air grew icy, and unseen hands brushed against my ankles, sending shivers racing up my spine. Whispers, like serpentine tendrils, slithered through the underbrush, carrying with them a disconcerting sense of foreboding. It was as though the very woods themselves were conspiring against me. Every leaf that rustled and branch that cracked seemed to conceal some lurking malevolence. The moonlight, filtered through the dense canopy, cast eerie, shifting patterns on the ground. Shadows danced and cavorted, taking on sinister forms that mocked the rational mind. The eerie silence was punctuated by the haunting echoes of long-forgotten voices, distorted and eerie, like a choir of tormented souls. My heart raced, and beads of sweat formed on my forehead as I pushed further into the dark heart of the forest. With each step, my grip on reality loosened, and I questioned whether I had truly ventured into the dreamscape or had been pulled into the depths of my own madness. And still, the mournful wail persisted, a haunting refrain that tugged at my very soul. It was a lament that seemed to echo through time itself, a cry of agony from a world beyond the veil of the living. It was a siren's call that I couldn't resist, drawing me deeper into the abyss. As I ventured further along the winding path, the forest seemed to tighten its grip. The trees leaned menacingly, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The very ground beneath me seemed to pulse with malevolence, threatening to swallow me whole. And all the while, the spectral cry grew louder, more insistent, as though it demanded my presence. With every step, I questioned my sanity, wondering if I had fallen into a waking nightmare, or if this was the true nature of the dreamscape forest, a place where reality bled into the realm of the supernatural and nightmares became all too real. Inside the cabin, the walls closed in around me, and the air grew thick with dread. The spectral woman's wailing intensified, her form shifting and contorting like a nightmare in motion. She was not alone. Other phantoms materialized, their eyes hollow voids that seemed to draw me closer. The cabin's interior was a chilling tableau of macabre horrors. Tattered curtains billowed as though stirred by invisible hands, revealing glimpses of the moonlit forest beyond. The room itself appeared to pulse with a sinister heartbeat, the walls throbbing and pulsating in time with the unearthly cries that filled the air. Flickering candles cast eerie, dancing shadows across the decaying furniture. Their feeble light revealed grotesque murals on the walls, nightmarish scenes of torment and suffering. It was as though the very essence of despair had been painted onto the cabin's time-worn boards. As I dared to take another step forward, the floor beneath me seemed to shift, its wooden planks writhing like serpents. It was a living nightmare, a place where reality and the supernatural fused into an unholy union. I clutched my head in agony, struggling to comprehend the madness unfolding around me. The spectral woman, her eyes pools of darkness, extended a skeletal hand toward me. Her touch was a frigid, bone-chilling embrace that sent shivers coursing through my veins. It was then that I realized I was not a mere observer in this malevolent theater. I was an unwilling participant in a cursed ritual, a pawn in a game beyond my comprehension. The other spectral figures, their twisted forms looming ever closer, joined the haunting chorus. Their voices merged into a discordant symphony of suffering, a relentless cacophony that threatened to shatter my sanity. Their words, a maddening blend of lamentation and despair, filled my ears, drowning out all rational thought. In that nightmarish cabin, I felt the boundaries of reality blur and dissolve. The very fabric of my being seemed to unravel, and I surrendered to the darkness. The dreamscape forest had claimed me, body and soul, and I joined the haunting chorus of lost souls forever trapped in its malevolent grasp. As the cabin door slammed shut behind me, the world outside continued, oblivious to the horrors that lurked within. The dreamscape forest held its sinister secrets close, waiting to ensnare the next unsuspecting victim who dared to venture into its depths.